Thank you very much. My area is about legal and constitutional. And first and foremost, our marking scheme on legal and constitutional issues is Article 10 of the Constitution, which provides for national values and principles of governance. And our take is that on all aspects of Article 10 of the Constitution, the Kenya Kwanza government has performed below par on all aspects of that article. Uh, we have split this presentation into different fields, and there are seven of them. The first is on the issue of human rights. And on human rights, we have seen a return of political arrests and intimidation. This the surprising thing is that the people doing this are the people who complained in the previous regime that they were being uh, politically intimidated through arrests and charges. They have now brought that themselves, and we have given two very egregious examples. First, Baba's security man was arrested and kept incommunicado for 3 days when he could not contact anyone, and when he was kept without food and interrogated, which was a clear attempt at intimidating Baba. We have also given the what happened to the blogger Pauline Njoroge, which was see as an attempt to make sure that they silence any person in the media who would want to tell the story of Azimio. The second part of human rights that we have dealt with is the issue of police brutality. Now, maybe to say first that we have, as an opposition, we've been on the streets from 2013. We have demonstrated, we have met police. This has been the most brutal reaction that we have ever faced. And in the 3 months alone of protests, we lost 70 citizens who were shot point blank by police. Uh, that are possibly many more people. That are possibly many more people within 3 months than we have ever lost in the last 10 years of demonstration. Surprisingly, is that despite that unprecedented levels of brutality, the president and his deputy have lauded the police for doing so, and have even said that they are going to protect them should anybody try to make them accountable. The converse of it is that when students and young people in Wasingishu said that they were going to demonstrate, unlike the reaction with Azimio, where our call for protest was immediately met with a warning and a cancellation of the demonstration, that did not happen and has not happened when demonstrations are called elsewhere, which makes it very clear that these demonstrations, these actions are aimed at intimidating Azimio. The third issue on human rights is concerning the report that was released the other day by the Independent Medical Legal Unit, in which they have said that in the last 11 months, they have recorded 128 cases of extrajudicial killings, and that they have recorded 482 cases of torture. They say that in those 11 months, the torture cases have doubled. And in a similar time last year, the number of torture cases were 232, which means the Kenya Kwanza regime has possibly now won the highest rate of torture cases that we have seen. Now, in that circumstance, what our prognosis of the future is, I think Kenyans should expect that we are going to face much more brutality. And the reason for that is from the economic picture that we've been given, and what Governor Derito has told us is that things are going to get worse. But governments that are unable to solve your economic problems, the way they deal with the political consequences of it is to become more brutal. So let us expect that we shall have much more intimidation, there'll be much more abuse of rights, there'll be increased police brutality, there'll be more torture, and invariably many more people will die arising from the failures, economic failures of the Kenya Kwanza government. That is our prognosis on that matter. The second head is on undermining governance. We have seen and we started this regime with a removal of all corruption cases from the people who were close to it. And our submission of it is that there seems to be a very subtle policy of ensuring that the Kenya Kwanza government appoints corrupt individuals in all spheres of government. And if your idea of what you want to do with government is do business, then one of the things you do not want is to have anybody of integrity in a place of responsibility. Which brings us to the second issue, which is the contempt for ethics. And again, Chapter 6 provides for the ethical standards of government. And we have said that the Kenya Kwanza government has no regard to ethics and is totally contemptuous to the issues of public ethics. And we have seen that in the return of the imperial power or attempt to return the imperial power of the president to pardon people who are convicted of offenses. And we have seen the last pardons that were made were even for people who were known children rapists were given pardon. People who had committed corruption cases were given pardon. And this is one of the things that Azimio will be going to court to challenge for purposes of ensuring that president cannot create impunity by attempting to promise people that the president can forgive you for if you are found guilty of a crime. And we have already seen that being employed where the police are concerned. The third is about the threats to the judiciary. Kenya Kwanza started by appointing the judges who had not been appointed by the previous regime, and also by giving 3 billion shillings to the judiciary as a mark of their commitment to an independent judiciary. Of late, however, we have seen two things. First, the president has openly criticized the judiciary, saying that it is obstructing its development agenda. And the reason for that is that the judiciary has stood against the executive when it has attempted to abuse its powers. And also recently we have seen another attack where the president has said that he's going to take action on corrupt judges. Now, we have a Judicial Service Commission, and it is the Judicial Service Commission that deals with all issues concerning judges. So it is an abuse, a threat to judges and the judiciary for the president to assume the power or try to assume the power to deal with the judiciary. The third limb under interference with the judiciary is subversion of the course of justice. And this has been because it has emanated from the threats to people who had cases of Mumias, who are told that they have to withdraw their cases. That is a denial of access to justice. Access to justice is a constitutional right directly guaranteed by our Constitution 2010. To threaten somebody who has gone before a court of law is to deny them access to justice. To threaten somebody who has filed a case is to deny them access to justice. The fourth limb is undermining the Senate. And on this one, we are talking about the case of the Finance Act 2023. I will not go further into that because Azimio did file its case against the Finance Act, and we were heard earlier this week. A judgment is going to be delivered, I think, on 24th of November. So we will wait to hear what the High Court has to say about that. The other issue is abuse of environmental rights, which PS Saitoti Turome has also talked about, and I am not going to go back to that. And then there is the undermining of multi-party democracy. First, to say that the regime keeps saying that it welcomes opposition, but on the other hand, it is doing everything to ensure that there is no opposition. And it has done that by attacking Jubilee and entering into the affairs of Jubilee. And even while the leadership of Jubilee has been in court, the president has openly recognized a faction of Jubilee as the legitimate function, which is the court that is supposed to pronounce as to who should be in charge. And then we have seen the buying of the members of parliament of ODM party, an issue that ODM has taken action on, and I will leave it at that because I believe that is also in court. The last issue we've dealt on this is inclusivity. We started by being told that the country has shareholders, and we have all been told those who want to buy shares prepare in 2027. The political stock exchange shall be open again, and make sure you buy your shares. So, and we are saying that policy continues. So, largely on legal and constitutional matters, I think the one message we would want to give Kenyans is that Kenyans need to prepare to have courage and vigilance, because we are about to embark on one of the most brutal eras in this country. Thank you.